Hello and welcome to News Tonight. I am Rhoda Ngonzi. We will dig into it. President Yoweri Museveni has committed to the creation of seed capital to incentivize local investment while officiating at the 3rd National Science Week at Kololo ceremonial grounds. Now, the president directed Uganda Revenue Authority to exempt taxes on innovations and startups.
Funding innovations. Upon realizing the infantry collapse of businesses, President Yoweri Museveni has committed to create a seed funding innovations with the proper feasible arrangements. President was officiating at a 3rd National Science Week at Kololo ceremonial grounds and emphasized incentivizing scientists towards homegrown solutions.
This is not a lot of money. We can put it. We just, instead of mourning and crying and so on, bring the proposal. We shall put the money we have been putting. Yes, we have been putting it project by project. As Honorable Kasaija says, some people interfere with it, but we can stop them. So therefore, we don't have a problem of this minimum funding you are talking about. So number one, government seed capital, which was your recommendation, can be provided through this annual allocation.
Museveni decried taxes imposed on innovations and startups at the infantry as they discourage the would-be potential investors and entrepreneurs.
Why tax innovations? There is no logic, because even when a product is not a result of innovation, we give tax holiday for 10 years. Something already well known, but you are putting it here in Uganda for the first time, we give you tax holiday for 10 years. How can anybody tax a baby when he has not been taxing adults who have just arrived on the scene? It is because you have not highlighted it. You bring it up. No, it will stop. Highlight it. That's why we created a Minister of Science specifically to bring out this issue.
The Minister for Science, Technology and Innovations, Monica Musenero, appealed to the presidential support towards science and technology highway. She wants government to harmonize policies to reduce on the clashes in the government ministries, departments and agencies.
For STI, the funding is still limited. It comes erratically. For example, for 2 years now, Kira Motors gets money only for salaries, and we are unable to move. The second challenge we find is an uncoordinated policy ecosystem. Just when we have worked on something, another ministry or another MDA will come up with something which is counter, and it disrupts innovators whom we had built, and they were at a point of going to the market. However, there are a lot of people who flippantly talk about the nation, and when many of these investors are searching, what first pops up are scandals, and many of the scandals are imaginary.
Investors have handed over a list of recommendations to the president to make Uganda a more investable destination.
The next recommendation had to do with creating regional partnerships. Some of the investors said that their perception is that the market is not big enough. So somebody recommended potentially for Uganda to partner with neighboring countries so that the size of the transaction and businesses are big enough to allow them to bring their capital.
Stakeholders have highlighted corruption, constant scandals, which portrays Uganda a dangerous land to investors. The theme for this 3rd National Science Week is Uganda to Symbol Day, our science-led journey towards socio-economic transformation. Abdul Nasili Lubwama for UBC.
Now, the Prime Minister, Robina Nabanja, has today met Fukuyo Nakamori, a development specialist from the government of Japan, and discussed a wide range of issues for mutual benefit. The meeting took place at the office of the Prime Minister in Kampala.
This was a follow-up of the earlier meeting held in Tokyo, Japan, on the sidelines of Asia, Pacific and Africa Women Leaders Conference that took place last year in November 2022. During the meeting, Nabanja briefed her guests that Uganda needs a partnership with Japan in the field of education, refugee response and technology transfer.
So you will get three in one. You will see the refugees, you will also see the school in the rural area. You will see how the government of Uganda has this open door policy. We now have 1.58 million refugees in the country. The number has more than tripled since 17 years when we were here.
Nabanja asked Nakamori to encourage Japanese investors to come to Uganda because for quite some time, Uganda has been a business partner with Japan.
I remember we also agreed to have technological transfer. Technology transfer, where technology is used to collect water, safe water for our children. And I remember you told me to write to you to choose areas where I think we can have this operation. I remember that technology where we went to a school and they were collecting water from the atmosphere. And that water was safe for the children. And the children would use it without any additives. And so we told him it was nutritious, it was original, it had no side effects to the children. So in addition, Uganda is interested in your support in the following areas. Agricultural equipment and technologies to facilitate mechanization and irrigation. The technology that can help us improve the quality of our agricultural products to meet the demands of the international market.
Fukuyo Nakamori, while giving her remarks through an interpreter, says that she is happy to come to Uganda and assured the country of support, especially in education. Nakamori says that she wants to establish a children's training program with Ugandan schools.
I remember, I think that the heart of the people of Uganda are so sweet. Although you have so many challenges, but you're accepting the refugees from other countries. We would like to discuss about the online school-to-school exchange program.
Yes.
Friday, the visiting development specialist is expected to meet the First Lady and Minister for Education, Mrs. Janet Katam Museveni, and also visit Nakasero Primary School together with the First Lady. Nakamori will on Saturday visit Karamoja to assess how Japan can help the people there and also identify a school for twinning in Karamoja. I'm Navka Farida, reporting.
Also, the Prime Minister has emphasized the need for coordination of humanitarian and development interventions in the country to serve refugees better. Nabanja made the remarks this morning while presiding over the Pre-Global Refugee Forum Conference at Speak Resort, Munyonyo.
Nabanja says that Uganda being the biggest refugee hosting country in Africa, there is need for all the partners to work as a team with government to serve humanity.
A broad and enormous contribution of ensuring the well-being of refugees and host communities. We need to improve on the coordination of humanitarian and development interventions to ensure both life-saving needs and long-term needs are met. We appreciate your support and commitment that you have reiterated here today.
The Premier says that such engagements help in streamlining service to humanity and also ensure sustainability of the refugee interventions. Nabanja lauded the development partners for the effort to supporting the country to host refugees.
Be assured of Uganda's commitment to the open door policy and the way we welcome and treat refugees. But only together we will make it sustainable.
Matthew Krenzel, the UNHCR representative to Uganda, assured the country of continued support towards refugee and host communities. Matthew says that there is need for measures to empower the refugees for self-reliance and stop depending on handouts.
We need to better understand and highlight the impact of our collective efforts. Sustainability would mean investing in refugee self-reliance, more efficient use of land, ensuring better agricultural practices so that refugees can cater for themselves and not rely on handouts.
Susan Namondo, the UN resident coordinator, thanked the government of Uganda for its open door policy in hosting refugees.
The UN Common Pledge consultation process demonstrated the need for investing in climate actions, clarifying critical linkages between climate change and access to livelihood or to decent work and living conditions for both refugees and host communities.
Joseph Karunjo, who represented the refugee hosting districts, pledged to support efforts in environmental conservation by planting trees and ensuring the social well-being of the refugees is enhanced.
Additional efforts will be needed to design and plan programs aimed at providing quality education, improved health services and road network, improved wash, quality food and nutrition, clean cooking, energy-saving technologies, improved housing, as well as participating in competitive trade.
Peter Gift, a refugee who spoke on behalf of all other refugees, pledged to plant trees for environmental conservation by planting over 7.5 million trees
around households and woodlots by 2027. Refugees pledged to work closely with the local government to enforce the laws and the bylaws on environmental protection within the settlements.
Ministries of Relief, Disaster Preparedness and Refugees, Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, Education and Sports, Local Government, Energy and Mineral Development, Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, and Finance, Planning and Economic Development, Water and Environment are participating in this forum. Uganda is preparing to convene the 2023 Global Refugee Forum together with France, Colombia, Japan, Jordan, Niger and the United Nations High Commission for Refugees. The GRF was held in 2019. It's the world's largest international gathering on refugees. Shaidat Nasaku, UBC News.
Now, the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Thomas Tayebwa, has commended the National Agricultural Research Organization for spearheading agricultural research into addressing the food security issue in the country. This was during his tour of government-funded projects across the country to ascertain value for government's money.
The Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Thomas Tayebwa, accompanied by Ministers of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, and the Parliamentary Committee on Agriculture, had a guided tour around Narrow's Livestock Resources Research Institute in Namlonge. This was part of his tours to government-funded projects to ascertain how funds have been utilized. At Narrow's Livestock Resources Research Institute, Namlonge, emphasis has been put in enhancing agriculture technology to address the issue of food security in the country.
To sustain food security, our chief guest, you need technology, you need science, technology and innovations. You need technologies and innovations to enable farmers practice modern agricultural practices to be able to achieve high yields and be able to sustain food security. I want to report to you, our guest of honor, that over the years, Narrow has developed numerous technologies and innovations that have sustained the food security of this country.
Food security means good quality food, but also enough. And this means we have to put research at the forefront. How shall we put research at the forefront? We need support, we need money, our budgets must be supported, we need scientists, we need equipment, we need technology. Some of which we can make here, some of which we have to import.
Tayebwa was toured around the newly constructed facility which will aid in fighting aflatoxins in Ugandan maize. Tayebwa asked NARO to carry out regional exhibitions across the country, aimed at equipping farmers with agricultural knowledge.
That in the next financial year, we finance NARO. It does exhibitions of this kind, not very big, in each sub-region of Uganda. I think we have 18 traditional, from Karamoja to West Nile to Achori, to Ankore, to Kigezi, to Bugisu. You do, even if you do, and then you're educating farmers.
Minister for Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries Frank Tumwebaze sounded the need for commercialization of researched agriculture products. To this effect, Tayebwa promised government support to commercialize these innovations.
So I had not understood that researchers need to be helped by extension to take their products. Because if you want to make research to do extension, then they will not do work here. To release a variety of a crop or livestock species, it's like carrying a baby for 9 months. So we need to give them attention and support.
So we must now, the next proposal you must bring should focus on commercialization. You have done a lot of research that is sleeping in the laboratories. Even if you reduce on the research and you first go into commercialization, you alone, you can easily raise 100 billion through NTR, and that money would go back to you.
Mary Namkose, Gloria Gwitabinji, UBC News.
Now, the president has duly congratulated the security forces for the recent capture of Bunjovu, the suspected leader of the ADF group of 10 that killed the 2 tourists and their Ugandan driver, killed the children of Lubiriha's school, burnt onion trucks and tried unsuccessfully to attack the parked trucks in Kasindi on the Congo side of the border. Njovu was injured and captured, and 3 of his group members were killed, 1 at Kasindi and 2 in the water aboard a boat in Lake Edward. Now, the hunt to wipe out ADF is being intensified. The president also saluted the Congo government for allowing Uganda to help them eliminate those criminals from Eastern Congo. He further stated that in their ignorance, the ADF terrorists thought the Congo forests were heaven, where the security forces could not reach, following the devastating attacks by the UPDF ever since 2021 of November. They have now discovered that the forests are death traps. And now Vice President Jessica Lupo has met and held discussions with the U.S. Ambassador to Uganda, William Pope. The 2 leaders focused their discussions on bilateral relations between the 2 countries, Uganda and the USA. His Excellency Pope, who started work in Uganda 2 months ago, has previously served in Angola, Guatemala, as his last posting before Uganda, where he replaced Ambassador Natalie Brown.
Because he's a very nice person, easy to work with.
That's good. Well,
that was her description.
Well, she's my boss, so that's why I report to the Southwest and down to the East a little bit. And once with my family over a holiday, openness to receiving refugees. That's an area where the United States has worked for many years. Obviously, being available, we are very interested in continuing to work. Thank you. That's very kind. please. Oh, that will. That'll place a lot of things. John. Thank you. Excellent.
Very much.
We'll look forward to future conversations.
Metu Bus Industries, Namamve, the manufacturers of buses for transporters, schools, tour operators, and special purpose vans and any customized vehicle. Metu Bus Industries offers a range of buses known for safety, comfort, and reliability. Depending on your needs, a bus can simply be a point A to point B people mover with just seats, or a special design that includes power outlet, Wi-Fi, television, refreshment center, and any other specification. Buy your buses from Metu and support industrialization of Uganda. Contact us on 0788 118586 or 0782 030303. Email us metuafricabus@gmail.com. Visit our website www.metubusafrica.com.
Jovia ng'oyolekera ku lugendo luno olw'obulamu nkuwa ekirabo eky'amaanyi agatazizibwa, amaanyi okulabibwa n'okuwulirwa mu mawanga ag'ewala ennyo, okutuuka buli wamu nga yadde togenzeeyo, ensi yonna ng'ekuli mu ngalo. Okutambula mu biseera n'okumanya buli kimu ekirina okumanyibwa. Jovia, kino kye kirabo kyange gy'oli.
Tewali kumuko ki ky'osobola okukola ku mukutu nnandameggwa ogwa MTN.
Uganda Parliamentary Circle will hold its 19th annual general meeting and training workshop on Friday 10th November 2023, starting at 9 a.m. in the Parliamentary Conference Hall. This annual general meeting will be preceded by a free cancer screening exercise on Thursday 9th November 2023 from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. also in the same place. Management.
In this family, we can't agree on anything.
Mutha.
We can't even agree on what to watch. All the games to play.
Martha.
Ndowoza Mulabi, we can't even agree on what to eat. At least the one thing for now we can all agree on is the soap to use. He likes that it's big and lasts long. Anti-economy. I like that it keeps my skin smooth. Ate alina echovu. And the children like that. It smells amazing. Everyone is happy. Movit soap comes in 4 fantastic flavors. Movit family soap is truly soap for the whole family.
Movit. All day confidence.
Era tutukanga omuntu nti nigasita ndala mukaaga 5 6 3 Ash onige yes
nga obakubuza
nga bamubuza amachanti code nga tumukoba ata mu 7 olumalirizawo ngata amwe sente dali kuwayo kumbaga ya mwenemu sawa yeneyo nga kyabazinga amwebaza nga tweyongere kai tujja mu kyalo ekindi
ekikoba embaga olunawa luti nga mwira
tulija kumala kai tweyongere emyezi mukaaga nga tukasumisa abantu momope
baba embaga ya mwenemu eriyo nga 18 kai emyezi omukaaga gyoli kuongeramu ojaji
oyidine bya momope abantu yembi yona bandeta momo ono ne bibali kumpaka ne bya momo pa bidi tyama kupichipichi ojo bisomesa
muleke musoni we tyamaja
baba tuka bulungi
simbule embalasi asumulude
momo nyabo.
Pay or shop with MTN Momo and get cashback every week. It's free of charge. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3#.
Sebo.
Yes?
This is the bill.
What?
Malaria testing, 10,000. Treatment, 100,000 since we put on drip.
Hey, Musao, can you read this for me? Before I brought my wife here, I'd already spent money on buying herbal medicine and drugs from the pharmacy, which didn't work.
But Sebo, the government gave out mosquito nets. Doesn't your family use them?
We got the mosquito nets, but they got holes and we didn't know what to do.
Protect your loved ones from malaria. Sew your mosquito nets whenever they get damaged to keep the mosquitoes away. Ensure all nets are tied up every morning to avoid damaging them. Ensure that everyone in your family sleeps under a treated mosquito net every night, whether it is a cold or hot season. Together, we can chase malaria out of Uganda. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health with support from Global Fund.
No malaria will catch.
Welcome back. You're still watching News Tonight. The Budget Committee of Parliament, led by Deputy Chairman Honorable Wamakuyu Mudimi, also Member of Parliament, Elgon County, has pledged to do their best to support Uganda Railways Corporation. This was during the monitoring works of the Uganda Railway Corporation, including the Imathia construction factory, which produces concrete sleepers, and monitoring the progress. I beg your pardon, that's concrete sleepers.
The Budget Committee of Parliament has visited the concrete sleepers factory of Imathia Construction in Mukono district, where they were showed the process of making these sleepers.
We do 208 because we have a contract only for 27 kilometers.
They continued to Namamve substation, where there will be a commercial hub.
This 3 years, when is it ending?
That is, it is ending
next June. And out of the 14 kilometers has already done. We
are remaining with around 12.
The committee members, while speaking to the media through the Deputy Chairman, Wamakuyu Mudimi, MP for Elgon County, commended the works done.
Transport. Bano babeera wano Kampala bangambe bagenda kukola line egenda paka Kyengera. Mufo ky'okujja ne taxi oba moroka zaffe zino kuvuga wano mu kibuga. Oyinza kutuukawo ango parkinga moroka yo ango olinya train. Train kuba wano Mukono paka Kampala nusu 10.
He added that they will do their utmost to help the Uganda Railway Corporation to raise funds to complete the project, as the train will help promote trade and transportation of goods in the country and abroad.
So byonna tubalina abantu abakozi bakulu betaaga abaana abato bano abafuuka ba youth obenga ba engineer n'abo abala kutambuza emirimu gya rail. Bane bye bakola bingi ne betaaga muse.
Uganda Railways Corporation Managing Director CPA David Musokebulega highlighted the challenges, especially in completing the project on time.
Our major challenges are the peoples, the encroachers, the people trading on the railway line, the people who have come back to settle in the railway corridor, the dumping in the corridor, the blocking of drainage channels. As we know, it is rainy season. But that discipline of garbage collection, that discipline of taking care of our environment, that discipline of taking care of government projects is still not there.
He urged leaders at various levels to come out and work together to accomplish this task and not try to fight them.
Our leaders, the local council leaders, the chairman, the district leaders, the division mayors, to come down to appreciate what the government has put in to revamp this railway transport. Basically, that is that.
The project, which cost more than 19 million euros, started on the 17th of March 2023 and will be completed in June next year.
Mitiana Municipality Member of Parliament Francis Zake, together with his lawyers Elias Lukwago and Marvin Sassi, has once again appeared before the Rules, Discipline and Privileges Committee of Parliament on two separate cases of indiscipline. However, the committee chair, Abdul Katuntu, was forced to adjourn the meeting after Zake and his team refused to admit whether the legislator was in the video showing vulgar attacks on MPs Chinya Matama and Javier.
That you have you don't have any member of parliament here, save for those ones who go there, and they don't even go there.
Okay, raise it if it's a matter of...
Yes, Chair. We want to understand, is it a trial or an inquiry? If it's a trial, then he has to take an answer. He has to give a response. If it's an inquiry, it's not mandatory.
It is an inquiry. It is an inquiry. And I repeat it is an inquiry, it is an investigation. Can I ask, Honorable Zake, is that you?
Chair, may we have the video played again? And in this particular case, Chair, the person complaining must make out a prima facie case. And the prima facie case entails the identity, including the identity of the person. It's up to them, it's up to the complainant to make out a case.
Under what law?
This
in the parliamentary proceedings, under what law?
That's why I'm really perplexed, Chair.
There's nothing perplexing about it. These are all preliminary issues because we know how we are dealing with people who are submitted to our jurisdiction. It helps. And I'm sure the Honorable Chinyamatama has. The other party is perplexed.
Now, the Minister of Lands, Housing and Urban Development, Judith Nabakova, has urged citizens to utilize their land for development to eliminate land grabbing and illegal evictions from those who anticipate absence of legal owners. Nabakova's remarks were made at the closing ceremony on the use of land for development funded by European Union and implemented by GIZ at Munyonyo.
Many people in Uganda own land, but most of them haven't utilized it for production to change their livelihoods, which has led to an increase in land wrangles in the country. The situation prompted European Union, German government, and various agencies, including GIZ, in collaboration with the central government and the Ministry of Lands, to start educating citizens on how to use land for self-development. According to partners involved in the program, there are still fear that people who own customary land are not identified due to weaknesses in the registration of the land processes.
In this context, agricultural investments, may they be large scale or smaller scale, increase pressure on land as a resource and bear risks, but also opportunities for improving people's livelihoods, and only if guided and regulated properly.
And now what we are looking up to, we want to make sure that data which is at the sub-county is also input onto our main land information system, such that even if somebody moves to Anemzo or Kampala to transact on that land, we can get information on the status.
Minister Judith Nabakova urged citizens to utilize land for self-development to prevent greed and fraud, among other land-related issues.
Once conflicts and risks are minimized or removed, to create certainty of ownership but also land use. The ministry is also working to put in place the tool to ensure the registration of leases, mortgages, caveats, and searches, and any other transactions on customary land.
Daniel Chilumira, an agriculture investment personnel, says there are still ignorance among investors on respecting the rights of citizens where they operate, but is confident that the gaps will be addressed.
This has been awareness that has been created for the investors to respect tenure rights in all the areas where they prospect or intend to do their investments.
James Macbeth Forbes, the country director of GIZ, promised that Germany and the European Union will further support land sector to ensure that citizens get ownership of their land for uninterrupted use.
I know that land plays a very, very big role for development, but also your security, your social security and your welfare, and it needs to be secured. It can't be taken away from you. And the Minister was talking about people grabbing land. It is, I think, the European Union's and Germany's effort to support the government in stopping that practice.
Stakeholders demanded for land reforms.
If we want investments in the agricultural sector, we have to be very mindful of this pressure on land. In its Vision 2040, the government of Uganda stipulates that the government will make land reforms to facilitate faster acquisition of land for agricultural commercialization.
The government's interest in responsible land governance is to promote the compliance requirements of our laws and facilitate dialogue, as well as documenting and resolving land conflicts together with the traditional institutions and partners.
European Union and German government have embarked on sensitizing residents from districts that make up the northern region about land productivity and development.
Now, the MK Movement national mobilizers have winded up their week-long tour in Kigezi sub-region, where they have held engagements with different communities in line with the popularization of General Muhoozi Kainerugaba and also mobilizing communities towards development.
The popularization and mobilization tour for MK Movement in Kigezi sub-region began from Rukongiri district. From Rukongiri, the team headed for a similar tour in Kanungu district. Under the leadership of Baramwarukahala, the MK Movement delegation also camped in the districts of Kabala and Kisoro, where among others they held different radio talk shows to speak to the communities.
Let's go and support and show zeal and love for our general.
In the district of Rukiga, the team organized a community cleaning exercise with the aim of interesting residents to always keep their country clean.
Itwe ekitulesere n'okubagambira ngu turakunda NRM, turakunda tata wetu General Museveni Kaguta, kandi turamusapotinga, turakora ebyalenga byona. Abaratekereza ngu twawukindemu nawe muninga turenda kumugwaniza abo barabeina.
The mobilization tours are acting as the curtain raisers for the November 25th activities to be hosted in Kanungu district, with the former IGP of Uganda, retired General Kale Kaihura, expecting to grace the occasion as the chief guest.
We are no longer generational. It is now for Uganda. The old, the young, everyone should come and join us.
I want to call upon everybody, all people of Kanungu district, all people of Kigezi, come 24th of November 2023. It will be a Friday. We expect all of you to come to Kanungu so that we give it a vibe, we give it energy that it deserves to welcome the MK team to Kanungu district.
The team, however, maintains that their operations are not either duplicating or sabotaging the NRM party and its structures, but rather complementing its efforts.
General Ngonzi will consolidate what Mzee has achieved, and then we will also streamline where Mzee has failed.
We are all movement people. We support the movement government of Uganda, headed by our chairman, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, and we support the MK movement.
In other areas, the movement received some opposition converts, especially from FDC and NUP. Robert Onyango, UBC News.
And the third Deputy Prime Minister, Rhoda Ngonzi, has urged stakeholders in the diaspora and diaspora affairs to place more emphasis on trade and investment connections to impact positive results. Ngonzi was represented by Minister for Lands Judith Nabakooba at the Uganda-Europe Convention at the office of the Prime Minister.
The Uganda-Europe Convention held is to discuss on how the two countries can strengthen economic ties.
Social and cultural events and interactions within and between local groups as well as across the European continent in order to empower, inspire and foster the spirit of brotherhood.
Good working conditions between the two countries and limited and called for bureaucracies in transactions were cited for positive results.
In handling issues of migration and diaspora affairs, we shall have the most vibrant diaspora worldwide, and our country will be elevated to the next level of the economy.
Representing the third Deputy Prime Minister, Rhoda Ngonzi, the Land Minister, Judith Nabakooba, highlights strengthening relationships, furthermore in trade and other key sectors.
Kijja kuba kituyamba naye ate ne bannayuganda baffe abanaagenda nga mu Europe nabo bajja kuyambibwa kubanga kati wagenda kubeerawo enkolagana ennungamu eri ku lupapula.
The country remains dedicated to fostering an environment that safeguards and offers incentives to investors.
We are a peaceful country now. Thank you very much. And investors always who are very sensitive, very sensitive on security issues. They are very sensitive for their investments. They see Uganda now as their best destination.
On challenges of corruption faced by Ugandans living in the diaspora, the head of State House Anti-Corruption Unit, Brigadier General Henry Isoke, says government has put in place a framework to fight the vice.
Furthermore, government's deliberate effort to promote ICT, as I said, in business, will significantly reduce the turnaround time for transacting and lower physical human interaction, which will minimize levels of corruption in the country.
The Uganda-Europe Convention was held under the theme Enhancing Entrepreneurship and Innovation. Lydia Chomkama, UBC News.
The Vice Chairperson NRM, Alhaji Moses Chigongo, has urged the NRM members to work together to strengthen the party and its structures. Chigongo made the remarks while welcoming leaders of Madu in Gomba, including the Director NRM Mobilization, Rosemary Seninde, Robina Rakojo, the area Member of Parliament, among others.
NRM members have been tasked to support endorsed leaders of the party in any organized election. Meeting party members in Madugomba, the Vice Chairman NRM Alhaji Moses Chigongo called on loyalty, encouraging hard work to strengthen the NRM party.
Tukolera movement, a delivering service to the people. Manifesto ya movement, it will implemented. Kuyinza okukicekinga nga mugenda mpola awakyamye tukolorawo ne tubeera nga tutambulira ku nankani y'emu.
Chairman Alhaj Chigongo emphasized the need to preserve land for future generations and urged party members to make informed decisions when dealing with land matters. NRM Vice Chairman decided that Haji Mbabali would continue to manage land-related matters.
Okuba omuntu omugumikiriza n'abeera nti amanyi gy'atutwala ffenna tululwedde okumugumirako kubanga tumanyi ky'amanyi gy'atutwala. Bano abalala bapapaddeko ne bapapala naye era mulaba ebivuddemu. Batandise kubagana bokka na bokka. Saagala kera mu ntalo za Kenya. Kyeva ngamba mwenna ti movement eyet NRM siba kiri.
The director of NRM Mobilization, Rosemary Seninde, called for unity to strengthen the party's structures and for members to work diligently in their respective roles.
And our purpose is to ensure that we monitor and we check service delivery, because that is what hurts our people. Once service delivery is not well done, then we get problems. I also call upon the NRM supporters to work together, because if we work as teams, we can always achieve our objectives as a party. So I call upon all our supporters, our NRM supporters, to try their level best to ensure that they check service delivery.
The resident district commissioner Gomba, Harriet Nakamya, expressed her commitment to serving the people. She explained the relevancy of leaders working with government. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
And with that, we'll take a quick break. When we return, more details.
Metu Bus Industries, Namamve, the manufacturers of buses for transporters, schools, tour operators, and special purpose vans and any customized vehicle. Metu Bus Industries offers a range of buses known for safety, comfort, and reliability. Depending on your needs, a bus can simply be a point A to point B people mover with just seats, or a special design that includes power outlet, Wi-Fi, television, refreshment center, and any other specification. Buy your buses from Metu and support industrialization of Uganda. Contact us on 0788 118586 or 0782 030303. Email us metuafricabus@gmail.com. Visit our website www.metubusafrica.com.
Are you passionate about a healthy living and wealth generation for your household? Learn how you can easily tap wealth and health from Mother Nature using science and technology. Omukenkufu Nyanzi Julius Echuma Chiwagala Chuma has written a knowledge-packed book, Money Grows on Trees, Sente Zimera Committee. Grab your copy today at 20,000 shillings only at Prof Bioresearch Equatorial Mall, Aristoc Booklex branches, Acacia Mall, Garden City, Kampala Road, and Jumia, Uganda. Or call 0703 152 152 for deliveries. Remember, Money Grows on Trees, Sente Zimera Committee book is autographed by Omukenkufu Nyanzi Julius himself.
The doctor says you are getting better. I have a list of suspects in my file here, but I need you to help me identify the thief who attacked you. This cat thief again.
Malaria is a thief. Don't let it rob you and your loved ones. Prevent it by sleeping under a mosquito net. Clear bushes and all stagnant water around you. If you notice any symptoms, go to a health center near you to test and treat. And ensure to complete your full dose to avoid severe malaria, which could lead to death.
Lagos.
you need data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Mult Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602 963. Visit our office in Kampala at Sayuni Complex in Tinda. Mult Technologies, your professional research firm.
Welcome back. You're still watching Eastern Night. In business news, Uganda Revenue Authority has unveiled the Digital Automatic Exchange of Information, a voluntary disclosure program that seeks to widen the tax base. Ugandans are urged to utilize the program to curb financial flows and improve tax compliance.
Uganda joined the Global Forum in 2012, started the exchange of information on request in 2014, committed to implement the automatic exchange of information in 2021, and will implement the automatic exchange of information by June 2025.
As the world becomes increasingly globalized and cross-border activities become the norm, tax administrations have agreed to work together to ensure that taxpayers pay the right amount of tax in the respective tax jurisdictions. The exchange of information, the automatic exchange of information program, is a platform that enhances cooperation between tax authorities and brings together tax administrations in line with the globalized economy.
Section 66(1)(a) of the Tax Procedures Code Act provides for preferential treatment for taxpayers who make a voluntary disclosure of non-compliance with tax laws.
So it is really leveling the ground and ensuring that there is more transparency, that we are able to have everyone pay a fair share of tax.
It is estimated that the country loses about 2 to 3 trillion shillings per annum in financial flows. Voluntary Disclosure Program is one of the initiatives being implemented by the taxman to reduce the losses through enhancing accountability.
It hinges on the fiscal response to Uganda's need for us to raise revenue to finance a larger part of our expenditures. As Commissioner General in his concluding remarks said, we clearly need to enhance revenue collection and move away from the fiscal stress of borrowing.
This initiative is envisaged to increase the revenue collection.
Besides targeting residents, what I also understood is even non-residents that are generating income, which income is said to be sourced in Uganda, but for some reason the URA does not have visibility. Those would also come into the scope of this sort of exchange of information.
But what we're saying here is, with the automatic exchange of information, if you disclose and they don't, they will pay more than you, because the URA will find out where their money is.
Persons who are resident for tax purposes in Uganda with offshore financial account information are encouraged to disclose to URA between November 2023 and June 2025 so as to tap into the VDP benefit scheme. Dennis Igoa for UBC News.
And government has stepped up efforts to enhance transparency in public procurement and assets disposal with a full introduction, with a full introduction of electronic procurement system. Now, the Permanent Secretary Rhoda Ngonzi says this development is a timely landmark that will reduce cost, time, and bureaucracy in all public procurement processes.
The electronic government procurement system being implemented by the Public Procurement and Disposal of Assets Authority will minimize costs and delays, besides offering a leveled ground for supplier competitiveness.
The benefits are really quite several in automating government. First, as I've told you, we have reduced human interaction. Corruption in Uganda is mainly because everything done in government gives a lot of power to those officers who have to sign them off. But with the now EGP, when we put it on the system, that transparency, that ability to know that we are 10 companies that have bidded for this supply, and the best bidder put up this price, and the evaluation was done this way, and any changes in the bid prices can be can be tracked. There is an audit trail that would help in enhancing transparency. For me, that's fundamental. So we are going to reduce delays. Procurement in Uganda has been delaying a lot.
Benson Turami, the Executive Director for PPDS, says the system will foster increased value for money in all public procurements and further calls for the initiative to be embraced by the public.
EGP is going to reduce transactional cost, procurement transactional cost in terms of the bidding processes, because government has been printing barricade documents. It will also enable or increase competition, because now the opportunity will be availed to all the registered providers. And I'm calling upon all government officials to embrace the system in terms of building capacity of their staff, which we are also doing with them, but also in terms of commitment.
Overdependence on consultants is being pointed among major causes of delay in the timely implementation of government projects.
Overuse of consultants. Even simple things, we have to use a consultant. Why?
Currently, there are 36 entities on board on the EGP platform. However, there are plans underway of ensuring that all government ministries, departments and agencies are fully on the EGP platform by the mid-2026. The full rollout of this public procurement and disposal system marks a new era that will enhance efficiency in procurement processes in this country and ensure that human contact is reduced. Crispus Arinitwe, UBC News.
And now in sports, the Uganda men's cricket team, the Cricket Cranes, was flagged off to Namibia, where they will take part in the 2023 ICC Men's T20 World Cup Africa qualifier starting on the 20th of November. Now the team was flagged off by the NCS Assistant General Secretary David Katende Semakula at Lugogo this morning.
Namibia via Zimbabwe, we have all our trust in you. We believe that you will build on the successes that you acquired before to forge our way for the next qualification. We want to see ourselves in West Indies come 2024.
The squad of 15 that has had preparations for the qualifiers for over a month will go through Zimbabwe, where they are set to play some trial games with Takashinga for 10 days.
Most importantly, we want to test our batsmen against top quality bowlers in Zimbabwe, and also look at how our bowlers are going to bowl against top quality batsmen in the Takashinga team. So we're actually concentrating in all the departments, and hopefully the boys pick a lot from Zim.
The warm-up games are key before any major tournament. You want to make sure all your players are match fit, both physically and mentally. And, you know, because we know Takashinga will give us good competition, they are a good side.
They'll then head to Namibia for the World Cup qualifiers starting on the 20th of November 2023.
We want to go out there and enjoy the game. We want to go and play with a lot of intensity, bring out the energies in every game we play in, and most importantly, we compete 110%.
I have absolute belief in my team. I believe the selectors sat down and selected the best 15 that they had available.
Well, that does it for News Tonight. We do return at 10 o'clock with more details. I am Rhoda Ngonzi. Do stick around.
The Right Honourable First Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for East African Affairs, Rebecca Alitwala Kadaga, and the entire family of Dr. David Kantale Kazungu of Kabuche, Kamuli District, regret to announce the untimely death of a senior citizen, Dr. David Kantale Kazungu,